How to walk properly with a walker or a cane after a knee replacement. You most likely are going to be using one of these devices after your surgery because you have pain, weakness, and you just need some balance support as well. You most likely are going to have a walker that looks just like this. It has the front wheels and two either tennis balls in the back, or I like to recommend walker skis. You can buy them on Amazon. It helps them glide over the carpets and rugs a little bit better. Of course, rugs are a fall risk. You always want to get rid of rugs in your home if you can, but you're going to need a front wheeled walker for the first, 2 to 4 weeks after your surgery, and then you can slowly transition to a cane. We're going to go over how to use the walker, when it's appropriate to transition to the cane, and then how to transition to the cane. Real quick, my name is Dr. Samantha Smith. I am a physical therapist that specializes in knee replacements. All my social media is dedicated to knee replacement recovery tips and tricks. My website, succeedcourses.com, also has a ton of information for you on there. I teach exercise classes. I have courses to help you with your knee replacement. Please go check it out, succeedcourses.com. Walking with a walker after your knee replacement is pretty intuitive for most people. Most of the time people pick it up really quickly how to use the walker, but just some quick tips right away. You want to make sure your walker is the appropriate height. So to measure your walker, you're just going to stand inside the walker and then drape your hands over the outside of the handlebars. The handlebars should come right to the crease of your wrist. So if the handlebars are too high, please lower them, and you can lower them with the legs. You just kind of have to move the little tabs here and make it a little bit lower. If your walker is too high, it actually puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder, your rotator cuff. It makes you use more muscles than you need to when you're walking. So we want the walker to be the appropriate height. That's the first thing that I look at. Another thing you can do is, you can see my walker here, the wheels are on the inside. So I usually do this for people who have narrow doorways. Usually the bathroom in their home is very narrow. I will switch the wheels to the inside. So you have to take both of the wheels off and then completely flip them and then put them on. This does kind of mess with the integrity of the walker, so you have to be careful. If you are very dependent on a walker, I am not going to switch the wheels. But if you are using it just very lightly, it's just there for a couple weeks, you just need a little bit of assistance, switching the wheels to the inside can be really helpful for people, and it can actually decrease the risk of falls because you don't have to worry about shimmying the walker into a narrow doorway. So it's actually a great little trick to do if you need to get your walker into your bathroom or something like that. So how to use the walker. So we'll say this is my knee replacement knee, the one with the pant leg up, that way you can easily see it. So when you are walking, you want to stay inside the walker. That's most important. A lot of times people will step out and they'll lean into the walker like this. So that's not good on your shoulders. It's not good on your back. That's not good posture. And we want you to use more legs when you're walking as well. It's actually a fall risk too. If you have the walker out in front of you and it were to get away from you, you're closer to the ground. If you're leaning forward, you're more likely to fall. So you want to make sure you're standing upright and standing inside the walker. When you take a step with the walker after your knee replacement, you are going to offload pressure off of that knee replacement knee by pushing your hands into the walker. So upper extremity strength is going to come into play here. You need some strong arms when you're using a walker. So we're stepping with the knee replacement knee. We're offloading pressure off of that leg here. See, I can kind of just, lightly touch the floor, and then the other leg comes over. This leg is your good leg. You can put full weight onto that leg. So that's how you walk with the walker. So you're here, step here, put some pressure into the handlebars, then step forward, step with the knee replacement knee, put some pressure into the handlebars, and just nice and slow and controlled for the first, couple weeks when you're using the walker. I don't like to get into the nitty gritty of gait mechanics and walking mechanics right after a knee replacement. A good one, just a small tip, is just doing that heel to toe walking. If you can, usually the first couple days after surgery, just try to survive. No need to get into the little nuances of walking. You'll eventually get to that when you start walking without the walker and things like that. But heel to toe walking pattern, when you're ready for it, that's a good tip to use. So just heel to toe, heel to toe. Most people know that one pretty well. So when to get off of the walker and transition to the cane. When you start forgetting your walker, that's a good reason to start to pick up a cane. When you start furniture walking, so let's say you're sitting on the couch, your walker's over here to the side, and you get up, you forget it, and you start walking, and maybe you're kind of holding on to furniture as you make your way to the bathroom. That's a good indication that you can switch to the cane. Your balance is pretty good, your confidence is pretty good. If your knee is buckling on you, it is good to stick with the walker. That would be the safest. You do need an assistive device if your knee is buckling on you. If your balance is really, really poor, I would stick with the walker. It's just safer. The last thing we want you to do is fall. So please stick with the walker for as long as you need. Don't feel like you are behind. It can take people anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks to transition to the cane. Everybody's different. Everybody's coming into a knee replacement with a different level of function and strength. So don't try to compare yourself to somebody else because you have no idea what they were doing prior to surgery. They could have been a triathlete or something else. So don't feel like you need to keep up with somebody else. So using a cane is a little bit trickier. You do need some more coordination. You need more balance. There is a lot that goes into using the cane. So just make sure you're ready for it before you completely transition. Again, the same thing goes when you measure with a cane. You want to drape your hand over the cane. Make sure that the handle comes right to the crease of your wrist. So as you can see, this one is too tall for me. There we go. That is so much better for me. So that is the same theory goes for the cane as the walker. You want to be able to put pressure on top of the handlebar and not getting too much into the shoulder. If the handlebar is too high, puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder. So it's good to make sure that the cane and the walker are the appropriate height. So when using the cane, it goes on the opposite side. So you will pick that up fairly quickly. And with this is called a quad cane. So as you can see, I have four feet here on a quad cane. You can use whatever cane you want to. Most people are using a single point cane. The only issue with the single point cane is it does fall over often. It's kind of frustrating. So I like to recommend either a quad cane or a cane that has a 3-prong, something that's going to stand up. That's really helpful. So I'm going to demonstrate with the quad cane. It's going to go on the opposite side. When you walk with the cane, you'll want the assistive device to go out first in front of you. Then your knee replacement knee goes next. Then you're going to put pressure into that cane because you want to offload pressure off of this leg because this leg is painful, it's weak, and then you're going to step with the other foot, and then we're going to do cane, bad foot, good foot. Okay, let's try that again here, different angle. Cane, bad foot, good foot. Cane, bad foot, good foot. Hopefully you notice that I am taking equal step lengths. So when I step with the knee replacement side, my other leg also has an equal step length. So let me show you without the cane. So we're taking equal steps. So step here, step here. Sometimes you do need to practice by doing what's called a step 2 walking pattern, where you step with the knee replacement side and the other leg comes right to the other foot. Step 2, step 2. So as you can see, we have unequal step lengths. That's okay for the first time you are working with the cane. You just need to get used to it. But eventually we want you to step through is what we call it in PT language. Step through, making equal step lengths there. So that's a good thing to practice. Again, you can get into the nitty gritty and practice that heel to toe walking pattern as well, where you're doing heel goes down first, and then you're pushing off with the toe, and you kind of get into those things. So when to put away the cane. This is a little tricky because most of the time that quad is going to be weak. You're going to have instances where it does buckle on you, you get tired. When you do get tired, it's awesome to pick up the cane again. This can be for somebody who is walking long distances, you're going on a walk, it's good to bring a cane with you for those times where your leg does get very tired. The cane at the end of the day makes a lot of sense for people as well because you are getting tired at the end of the day. So there's it just it depends on the person, of course. That is the inside joke in physical therapy. It depends. We don't know. I can't give you exact advice on when it would make sense for you. You just have to kind of weigh the pros and cons on when you want to use the cane. So hopefully this video is helpful. It's a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. Again, please go to my website, succeedcourses.com, if you want to get in contact with me, schedule phone consultations. You can take my courses, my exercise classes. I am here to help. Thank you so much.